Today I read a couple verses in Proverbs that really spoke to me and made me think. First is Proverbs chapter 25 verse 11. A word spoken at the right time is like gold apples on a silver tray. The second verse was in Proverbs 15 verse 23, and it says this: a man takes joy in giving an answer and a timely word, how good that is. Now, both of these verses talk about timeliness in speech. In other words, speaking at the right time. We all know, we've discussed before, how we need to speak truth. The Bible tells us to speak truth in love, and that's very important. But speaking at the right time, saying the right thing at the right time with the right attitude is the way to go. See, our words are so important. The Bible's so clear. The tongue it says is small, but it's very mighty, and it can hurt people. So we have to be careful about our words. They can build up or they can tear down. Timeliness is very important. You see, you may be speaking the right words, you may be speaking 100% truth, but if your timing is off, then that's a problem. You see, we have to be careful about when we say things. There's a couple things that we can look at here as far as timeliness goes. One is when we're with someone that's grieving. Maybe they lost a friend, someone passed away that they know and they're grieving. Especially when it's really fresh in their mind. Be careful not to talk too much. They need to go through the grieving process. They don't need to be, have Bible verses jammed down their throat. You can, say some comforting things, but be very careful about what you say, because they're not at the point where they can process these things. Another aspect of timeliness is, how well do you know the person? Maybe what you need to talk to them about is very, very personal, but do you know them well enough? Have you developed a relationship with them in such a way? Are you close enough to them to be able to speak to them in that way? You have to be careful about this, because if you're not close enough to that person, then they're not going to respond very well to what you say. So maybe you need to spend more time developing a relationship with them before you say certain things to them. See, timeliness is important. If you don't speak the truth at the right time, people will just totally reject it. Another part of timeliness is, where does this person stand spiritually or in their knowledge about what you're going to talk about? Are you going to be talking to them about something they have no clue? They don't have any understanding at all? You have to be careful. There again, you need to know the person to know how far you can go, or how deep you can go. Timeliness is so important. It's one of the things that can make or break what our words do in a person's life, how they're received, how the person deals with them. We have to ask God to help us with this time. Ask God for the wisdom to be able to know when to speak, to know what to speak, know how to speak it. This is all so important. This idea of speaking the truth in love. It's not just enough to speak the truth, as we've said. We have to be timely, and we have to have an understanding of the person. This is an area for me that it's kind of hard, because I'm kind of just, this is it. This is what you need to do. This is what God says, or whatever. And it can come off as being very, very harsh. I know my timing's been off so often, so I have to be careful about this. Is something that's very personal to me. Ask God for the wisdom to be able to speak words at the right time that will uplift that person, draw them closer to God, and not push them further away. If they don't understand, or if they get defensive, we've lost them. So I would encourage you today to ask God to help you to speak at the right time in the right way. If this video has been in any way encouraging to you, maybe it's rebuked you a little bit or challenged you, please like, share, and subscribe, and may God always bless you.